have only been increased by a measly 2.6%. We will know from the DLG how much was submitted to the DBM so that we will know how much was lost, preventing the good governance that is provided for on all local governments by the DLG and the peace and order of our country, the basic ingredient for development of our country.
Insurgency-free. Kung bakit merong armado na grupo na hindi PNP, hindi naman AFP.
Now, Madam Chair, let me proceed to the National Youth Commission. The National Youth Commission is offering pabuya, tulong medikal at pinansyal sa mga magtuturo ng recruiters di umano into insurgents among the youth sa universities at sa sangguniang kabataan. Ngayong nagsisinungaling, hindi pwedeng mag-assume tayo na wala yung monitoring, Madam Chair, sa SK candidates at sa schools.
I think my personal funds, ma'am, does not need approval of the commission. It is not government funds.
I've noticed that many of you are simply watching my videos without subscribing. I kindly request you to consider subscribing to my channel, as your support motivates me to keep creating more content.
Madam Chair, for 2024 ay may proposal ang DILG na budget for Decentralization and Constitutional Reform Advocacy Campaign. Magkano po ang hinihinging budget para dito?
Good morning, Madam Chair, and good morning to the members of the committee. We are proposing for a 30 million fund for decentralization and constitutional reform for 2024, Madam Chair.
Yeah. Madam Chair, para mangyari po ang decentralization, kailangan po baguhin natin yung konstitusyon. So, ibig sabihin po ba ay bahagi ng priorities ng administration within the term ay charter change?
Madam Chair?
I think something is wrong with the sound system. Nag-echo eh. May we ask the maintenance? Okay, continue, Yusek. Yusek?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Your Honor, what we are now focusing on is not exactly decentralization, but devolution in light of the Supreme Court ruling that came out in 2018. This will be part of the effort of the Department of Interior and Local Government to strengthen the capacities for local government unit to further absorb functions and services as provided in Section 17 of the Local Government Code.
Okay, maybe Yusek, you speak louder.
Yeah.
Mamaya.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, Kong Raul.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, linawin ko lang kasi ang pangalan po ng budget item ay I quote, Decentralization and Constitutional Reform Advocacy Campaign, end of quote. So, ibig sabihin po, constitutional reform that entails changes in the Constitution. Kaya po, ibig sabihin nun, are we expecting na plano talaga ng current admin within this term na magkaroon tayo ng changes sa Constitution?
Madam Chair, there is no push for a constitutional reform. As I mentioned, what we want to target are capacity development interventions for our local government units for full devolution.
Madam Chair, ang pinagbatayan po natin ay mismo ang National Expenditure Program na ito po ay budget proposal ng DILG. At clearly po, Madam Chair, nakalagay, constitutional reform. So, that's none other than charter change, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, this program actually is a carryover from our previous budget, But I do believe the good congressman is right because right now there is really no push for constitutional reform.
Madam Chair, galing na rin po mismo sa Pangulo na tinitake na daw yung first step towards a federal form of government, which means Malacanang is really intent in changing the current form of our government, and that requires charter change.
Madam Chair, may I answer the question? Gusto ko sanang bigyan ng background, no? Aside nung sinasabi ni Yusek Iringan na ito'y nakaraan pa. No? Nagkaroon kasi kami ng problema po rito sa Mandanas ruling. Ito pong Mandanas ay ito yung devolution.
Madam Chair, allow me to interrupt kasi yung Mandanas po, it does not entail changes in the Constitution. Pero po, constitutional reform. At mismo po, coming from the President himself, he wants a federal form of government.
Well, sasagutin ko lang po ano. Because of the Mandanas, nakita namin yung kakulangan at yung flow ng batas. I'll give you one example. Ang nakalagay dito, ang magpapagawa ng kalye ng barangay ay ang barangay mismo. Which we see na talagang napakabigat sa isang barangay. Hindi lahat ng barangay kaya magpagawa ng kalye. Number 2, ang probinsya. All of the provinces should have tertiary hospital. Hindi lahat ng probinsya ganun kayaman. Pangatlo, yung level of the national to the local. Ano yung mga dapat na functions ibalik sa national na talagang hindi kaya ng local? Marami po yan. Hanggang ngayon, pinag-aaralan po ng aming departamento yan, kasama local government. No? Although, yung title, sinasabi ko nga sa kanila, medyo hindi angkop ng konti. Pero part po ito ng pag-aaral po namin ng iba-ibang attached agency ng DILG. Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, kung hindi po angkop yung pangalan ng budget item, then are we contradicting the President? Kasi po, again, to have a federal form of government, magbabago talaga yung konstitusyon. At ngayon po ang sinasabi, hindi changes sa konstitusyon, yung gusto nating mangyari.
Madam Chair, what we are proposing for 2024 are activities that would or studies for the amendments of the Local Government Code of 1991 because
So
the
it's
code
not
has
the
been with us for
Constitution.
32 years and there has been no amendments introduced to the provisions of the code.
Okay. Madam Chair, still I maintain my reservations sa item na ito kasi clearly po, pag popondohan at inapprove po natin ito, this is a budget to promote charter change. Wala na pong iba kasi constitutional reform yung pangalan ng item. Now, Madam Chair, let me proceed to the National Youth Commission. The National Youth Commission is offering pabuya, tulong medikal at pinansyal sa mga magtuturo ng recruiters di umano into insurgents among the youth sa universities at sa sangguniang kabataan. I'd like to confirm yes or no sa ating NYC, Madam Chair.
Okay, may we get an answer?
Madam Chair, it is from my personal funds, not from the budget of the National Youth Commission.
Madam Chair, given yung dami nung dapat na pagkagastosan para sa pangangailangan ng kabataan, pero kung may personal funds naman po pala, ay bakit doon pa ilalaan given yung maraming kinakaharap na problema ng ating mga kabataan. Madam Chair, given na pronouncement yon ng NYC Chair, is this approved by the Commission and Bank, yung ganong activities?
Madam Chair, the mandate of the National Youth Commission is Youth in Nation Building.
Madam Chair, I was asking a technical question. Kung dumaan po ba sa Commission and Bank yung ganong plano ng NYC?
Okay, may we get an answer?
I think my personal funds, ma'am, is not does not need approval of the Commission. It is not government funds.
So Madam Chair, hindi dumaan sa Commission and Bank. So may mga activities po na ginagawa ang NYC Chair in behalf of the government, pero hindi po niya dinadaan ito sa Commission and Bank.
Madam Chair, that advocacy of mine against the CPP-NPA has no funding from the NYC. Thus, I am funding it myself.
Okay, Madam Chair, nakita natin yung priorities ng NYC Chair. Binabypass po niya ang Commission and Bank, tapos may mga pinagkakaabalahan po siya na hindi naman actually yon yung primarya na mandato ng kanyang ahensya, Madam Chair. Kaya with that, given din na meron pang bago na naman, aside sa past, may bagong COA findings na naman regarding excessive na expenses ng National Youth Commission. Kaya po, Madam Chair, yung performance na dito talaga parang hindi natin mavavouch given na ito supposedly prime agency for the youth. Madam Chair, may IRR na ba yung SK compensation law?
Yes, Madam Chair, it was finally signed by all the departments and agencies last month.
When was the date, Madam Chair?
August 7, Madam Chair.
Of 2023?
Sayang, Madam Chair, magpapalit na tayo ng SK officials, hindi man lang napakinabangan yung batas na naaprubahan natin sa Kongreso last year. How about the National Youth Day Law? May IRR na po ba ito?
For that, I will ask our technical staff, ma'am.
Is the technical staff present, Madam Chair?
May I gently remind the Honorable Raul Manuel that you only have 4 seconds, so
Yes,
we'll
Madam
be
Chair.
giving you one more questions.
Thank you, Madam
question
Chair.
to ask.
Yeah. Yung sa technical staff po, Madam Chair, regarding the IRR of NYD law.
Yes, Madam Chair, I will consult with my staff in the gallery and will submit the answer to the office of Congressman Manuel.
So Madam Chair, last year pa po ito naging batas, beyond na po dun sa inaalaw na dapat ay may labas na yung IRR. Ibig sabihin po, wala. On record, Madam Chair, wala yung IRR. Kaya sa ganitong performance, Madam Chair, nakakahiya na ganito na naman yung leadership ng kabataan. Ang dating tuloy para bang hindi kaya ng mga kabataan na mag-lead. Kaya with that, kung ako lang, Madam Chair, I just would like to manifest, dapat po hanggat nagsistay yung chairperson ng NYC at hindi napapalitan, if he can't resign, dapat po ma-defer ang approval po ng budget ng NYC. Yun lang, Madam Chair. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, sa NYC po ulit, saan po publicly accessible ang IRR ng ating law para dun sa amendment sa SK Reform Act?
So maybe get an answer.
May we request Chairman Cardema to reply to that, Madam Chair?
Madam Chair, it will be published by the Gazette on September 11.
Sige, Madam Chair, yun nga, unfortunately talaga naging sobrang delayed po yan. No? At least ngayon narinig na po natin na by September 11, nandyan. Kasi inaabangan na po talaga yan ng ating mga SK officials. Next, Madam Chair, I'd like to confirm sa NYC na yung NYC tsaka regional offices ay nagmo-monitor po ng recruitment into insurgents sa ating universities. Can NYC confirm, yes or no?
Can we get an answer from
Madam Chair,
the
can Congressman Manuel repeat the question?
I'd like to confirm, Madam Chair, na NYC and regional offices are monitoring recruitment for insurgents sa ating mga universities.
Madam Chair, there's no such thing.
Madam Chair, as of May 30, 2023, nagbanggit po ang NYC chairperson na may ganun pong ginagawa. So bakit po ngayon ay dinedenay na may ganung activities?
Madam Chair, what I stated was I was asking all youth leaders in the country to do their duty in identifying who is recruiting our youth to become members of the NPA.
Madam Chair, I'd like to interrupt. Ito po yung nakalagay sa isang news article, The Manila Times. Their regional offices have been coordinating with OVP amid alleged recruitment. Schools are being closely monitored by NTF-ELCAC and the NYC. So bakit po ngayon, Madam Chair, dinedenay ang ganong activities?
Madam Chair, I do not recall saying that.
Madam Chair, ito din quote po from the chairperson. All areas are being monitored through our regional NYC offices during a weekly press con hosted by NTF-ELCAC.
Madam Chair, I do not recall saying that, but we will check on that statement.
Madam Chair, since ito po ay on public record na, then I'd like to ask, sino po ang personnel involved sa ganitong monitoring activities?
Madam Chair, our regional offices has only 2 personnel. Each regional office has only 2 personnel. I do not recall saying that statement.
Madam Chair, ito nga po na media na po, so hindi na po ito madedenay natin na biglang nagka-amnesia po yung ating NYC chairperson. Madam Chair, 2 na lang yung personnel, so saan po galing yung budget na ginagamit para dun sa monitoring into alleged recruitment?
Madam Chair, that is the reason why I am saying that I do not recall such statement because every regional office of NYC has only 2 personnel.
Madam Chair, meron na nga po, nasa balita na nga po at na-quote po yung chairperson. So kung ngayon po ay magsisinungaling po yung ating NYC chair, then that reflects on the character of the person leading the National Youth Commission. Tapos Madam Chair, kaya natin tinatanong kasi nga, kung nagmomonitor ang NYC along with NTF-ELCAC and OVP, tapos 2 na lang yung personnel, di mahahatak pa sila sa ganitong aktibidad kaysa mag-focus doon sa dapat na gawin ng NYC in the first place. Tapos Madam Chair, we take note, wala pong confidential funds ng NYC. So paano siya makakagawa ng ganitong activities? It shows na kailangan niyang mag-divert ng funds from youth-oriented activities papunta sa ganitong monitoring. Now on COA reports, Madam Chair, bakit walang naipakitang proof of medical records ang NYC doon sa mga absent sa kanyang mga seminars and trainings?
Madam Chair, regarding that, we are requesting those SK councilors and SK presidents from provinces to provide the said medical statements if they were absent in their hotel room because the COA findings said that they were absent in the hotel room but they attended the event.
Madam Chair, NYC na po, COA na po yung nagsabi na kina-question po nito yung validity tsaka propriety ng mga gastos kasi yung mga patraining ng NYC sobrang gastos tapos walang mapakita ang documents. Recurring problem na rin po ito for 3 years, Madam Chair, 2019, 2021, and 2022. Kaya po last year, Madam Chair, dinefer natin yung approval ng NCIP budget dahil din hindi sila nagfulfill sa kanilang mandate. Konti na nga lang yung budget, hindi pa ginagamit sa tama. While gusto natin, Madam Chair, na taasan yung NYC budget, pero kung nasasayang dahil sa ineffective leadership, edi ang hirap po i-vouch, Madam Chair. Ginagamit pa yung NYC for personal advocacy. Kanina po, Madam Chair, huli sa bibig, tapos ngayon nagsisinungaling pa. Yes, I'll wrap up, Mr. Chair. Kaya pahamak sa NYC as an institution at sa ating mga SK na kandidato, itong personal advocacy, ginagamit pa yung NYC as a platform, Madam Chair. So, Madam Chair, kaya po, tingin po natin, hindi dapat palampasin to kasi this reflects about youth leadership in the country. Yun po muna, Madam Chair, and dapat po hindi natin to talaga palampasin. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Natakot si Mr. Chair, baka magpa-defer ako eh. Kaya, anyway, Mr. Chair, yung custodial rights po, ito po yung sa UN Standard Minimum Rules for the Treatment of Prisoners, which the BJMP adheres to, no? Restrict the practice of solitary confinement because it amounts to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment. According to Kapatid, the women political prisoners at the Camp Karingal, Quezon City female dorm in Three in Camp Karingal have been placed in continuous solitary confinement. The 3 women political prisoners there, Julieta Gomez, Nizel Velasco, and Romina Astudillo, are padlocked 24 hours a day. They are not allowed sunning. They can only leave their cell during idalaw or when visitors come, which is rare because of heavy restrictions too on visitors. Kaya, Mr. Chair, pasagutin po natin ang BJMP kaugnay dito.
Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, the BJMP is mandated for the safekeeping and development of all PDLs all over the country. Kaya kung may mga ganyan po na nakarating sa amin, bibigyan po namin ng action yan sapagkat ang BJMP po naman is fair and just sa pagbibigay po ng serbisyo doon po sa mga nakapiit na kapatid natin.
Mr. Chair, can I get a commitment sa ating chief ng BJMP na tutugunan niya itong reklamo na ito na continuous solitary confinement yung ginagawa sa 3 political prisoners na naroon?
Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, I commit that I will see to it na maayos po itong kalalagayan ng 3 ito na nangangalang Julieta Gomez, Nizel Velasco, and Romina Astudillo. Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, we will look into it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, my next question is about the Philippine Commission on Women. Nandito ba ang Philippine Commission on Women? PCW?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Ayan.
The PCW is represented.
Yes. Mr. Chair, this coming October, the Philippines is scheduled to report for the 86th CEDAW session. Maaari po bang matanong ang PCW kung nasa ang yugto ng pagbubuo ng official report na ito?
Yes, Madam Chair, we are scheduled to join the Rivalida on CEDAW on October 11. We are already preparing for the CEDAW together with the Philippine Human Rights Commission. We have also have a copy already of our list of responses to all the observations of the UN CEDAW.
Okay, yung Council on the Elimination of, Against
Convention
women,
on the Elimination of
Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW. May we know the process through which the report is being crafted? Specifically po, sino-sinong stakeholders ang naging bahagi ng pagbubuo ng report?
When we received the list of observation from the UN, the PCW with PHRCS hosted a consultation, and we consultation with stakeholders alongside the agencies who have mandates that are part of the list of observation. Based on that, we consolidated our responses and submitted it to UN.
Okay. Mr. Chair, as we know, the previous Duterte regime has been blatant in its macho-fascist exhortations in public, which run counter to the Philippine government's CEDAW obligations. Now, shouldn't the new administration make a comment on this in its report?
Madam Chair, on the actuations of the previous administration on violence against women, we have addressed this through a dialogue with the Office of the President, although there was no public statement on this.
Mr. Chair, ang tinatanong ko po kung i-include ito sa report at gusto po sana nating makita or mag-request ng highlights ng draft report.
Madam Chair, we can provide you with a copy of our list of responses which we have submitted to the UN.
Is it available now? Kasi hindi mo ako masagot kung nilagay o hindi nilagay na ang previous Duterte regime has macho-fascist exhortations in public.
It's not among the observations of the UN, and so, Madam Chair, it was not one of our responses.
Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, magre-request na lang ako ng highlight ng draft report for CEDAW. I cannot understand kung bakit hindi ilalagay kasi meron namang mga specific na Meron po tayong mga specific examples, meron po tayong mga exhortations niya, yung kanyang speeches in public about women, particular, treatment of women. So, Mr. Chair, siguro ibibigay din namin yung ilan sa mga reports na ito sa PCW for them to consider in their SEDAW obligations na mai-report ito sa UN. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chair, yung next ko na lang po ay yung sa yung police attaché. If you remember sa PNP po, ito yung tanong ko kanina. Magtatayo ng police attaché sa UAE sa ngalan ng pag-address sa global security threats. Ano-anong bansa po ngayon ang may nakatayong police attachés? The former PNP chief Azurin Papala ay nag-declare nito dati, no? So meron na po bang mga nakatayong police attachés, Mr. Chair? Ilang pulis ang nakadeploy kada police attaché sa ibang bansa?
Yes, Madam Chair, Your Honor. As of now, we have 9. And sa isang posting po, yung police attaché at saka meron siyang admin assistant. Bale, dalawa po. So all in all, for this 9, there are 18, Your Honor.
Sorry, hindi ko masyadong marinig. Pakiklaro lang po. Saang-saang bansa ang nakatayong police attachés, tas ilan po yung nakadeploy dun sa mga bansa na yon?
We have one in Islamabad, Pakistan,
Pakistan,
Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Washington, D.C., Beijing, China, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, particularly in Riyadh, Los Angeles, in San Francisco. Bale, dalawa po ma'am sa USA. One in Washington and one in LA. One in Jakarta, Indonesia. One in Paris, France, and one in Bangkok, Thailand, Your Honor.
ano po yung last?
Bangkok, Thailand.
Bangkok, Thailand. Saang budget item po kinukuha ang pondo para sa police attachés?
It is coming from our intelligence fund, Your Honor.
So intelligence fund ang ginagamit dito. So wala po itong PAPs, wala itong activities, programs and activities. Kung tinatanong ko po kasi dapat malinaw sa atin kung saan specifically napupunta yung pondo ng bayan. At gusto po nating makita kung ano ang praktikal na resulta ng mga police attaché sa ibang bansa. Kung sila po ay umiikot lang para mag-red tagging, hindi po katanggap-tanggap sa atin yon.
That's the last question. Kindly answer.
Yes, Your Honor. It is the IF of the DI Central Office, Your Honor, that supports our police attaché.
So sa central office,
Yes, Your Honor.
kinukuha yung pondo, tapos sa intelligence funds. How much is your intelligence funds po?
Congresswoman Arlene Brosas, you have to wind up.
Yes, Mr. Chair. They can submit na lang, Mr. Chair. Kasi meron naman akong documents. I requested documents. I believe I've already given them kung ano po yung ipaprepare for plenary, Mr. Chair. Kasi
Okay.
yung
So,
fund
Chief-
utilization status ng Support to Barangay Development Program, yung report sa utilization ng 1.08 billion to end local communist armed conflict budget, report on the utilization of the GAD funds, Gender and Development Funds by DILG and attached agencies, countries with police attachés na isa-isa na po kanina, with a number of PNP personnel deployed, including date of deployment. Yung date of deployment po ang wala. So yun sana yung gusto nating marinig. And lastly, Mr. Chair, siguro yung yung kanina naman sinabi yung sa e-clip yung list ng, magpo-provide po kayo ng list with financial assistance, Yung documentary requirements, siguro kailangan nyo rin sabihin for availing the program. Saka yung reference used by implementing agencies of the program to validate that the person is indeed a rebel. And how often is this list updated? Paano po ito kinakraft at sino-sino ang involved dito? Yun lang, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat. This is in
Thank
preparation
you,
for
Congresswoman
plenary.
Arlene Brosas. PNP, you are directed to submit or the pertinent documents requested by Congresswoman Arlene Brosas to this committee and kindly furnish it to the office of Congresswoman Arlene Brosas.
Yes, Your Honor. We have listed all the requirements and we will submit as required, Your Honor.
Okay. So then we are now on the third round, and there's just one who's gonna ask question. So maybe Chair now recognize the Honorable Representative Raul Manuel.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Given 3 minutes, you're up.
Yes, Madam Chair. Sa PNP lang po, I'd like to manifest na bilang kabataan ay sobra tayong dismayado dun sa spate ng mga abuses na ang biktima din ay mga kabataan. Tingin po natin ang PNP, it's no longer serving as a civilian force as it should be that serves and protects the people. Kaya po, ang dami din talagang nagsasabi na parang hindi na deserve yung pension na fully shouldered by the people through taxes. Tanong lang po dun sa binanggit nung SONA, yung resignations ng 18 drug-linked high-ranking PNP officers, sila po ba ay natanggal na lahat sa posisyon?
With regards to the, may I clarify your questions, Your Honor, with regard to the
Yeah. Madam Chair, di ba po sabi nung SONA ay may tinanggap na resignation, di ba, ng mga drug-linked officers. Meron pong 18. So natanggal na po ba sila lahat sa posisyon?
Yes, sir. Those mentioned were already deemed resigned and it was implemented. Your Honor.
Madam Chair, na-dismiss na rin ba sa police service yung 18 na high-ranking PNP officers?
Resigned, Your Honor, not dismissed.
But from the police service, Madam Chair, regardless ng posisyon, from the police service, na-dismiss na po ba sila?
Wala na po. Resigned na, Your Honor. Wala na po.
Resigned na rin from the police service at resigned din sa, wala na rin sila sa posisyon.
From the police service, wala na po.
Okay. Kailan po nag-take effect yung kanilang resignations from the police service?
The resignation took effect on July 21, 2023, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, will the 18 high-ranking police officers receive retirement benefits?
They're not receiving any more benefits, Your Honor.
Retirement po. When they retire, will they receive benefits?
Walang pension benefits, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Last few questions po sa PNP kasi may mga nadidismiss na cases filed by CIDG due to defective search warrants. May inconsistencies sa statements ng officers who conduct surveillance activities. Kaya para bang ang CIDG ay nag-rely sa unreliable information to secure search warrants against advocates and human rights workers. Hindi po ba parang sayang yung pera doon sa pagpa-file ng mga cases na eventually ay nadidismiss din naman? So, parang hindi nabebest ng CIDG yung kanyang trabaho. Can we get a comment?
With regards to the implementation of search warrant, Your Honor, I understand that when we secure search warrant, this is all witnesses are properly examined by the judge, and with this examination by the judge, there is a reason for the implementation of the search warrant. Now, with regards to the conviction, if cases were dismissed, it is maybe in one reason or another, but these are the things that we are reviewing every now and then, Your Honor, and we really want that we enhance our capabilities, our coordination with prosecutors, and also by reviewing all the reasons why such cases are being dismissed. And in line with this, that is the basis for our continuing education and other program of instructions, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raul.
Madam Chair, final point na po. Balikan ko lang yun sa NYC. Nakakabastos, Madam Chair, na sa harap po nating lahat, no, sa Kongreso, nagsisinungaling po ang NYC chairperson. Galing na po mismo sa presscon na nasa page ng NTF-ELCAC, ay sabi po, kahit daw konti ang resources ng NYC, pero buhay na buhay daw yung kanilang advocacy at nagpa-participate sila sa media forum para matigil daw yung recruitment di umano. And Madam Chair, nabanggit din na talagang lahat po yan minomonitor natin. Meron tayong local youth development officers, meron tayong mga regional offices ng NYC. Kaya Madam Chair, it's very clear na yung NYC hindi niya finufulfill yung kanyang mandate at ngayong nagsisinungaling, hindi pwedeng mag-assume tayo na wala yung monitoring, Madam Chair, sa SK candidates at sa schools. Kasi if we assume na wala, pero nagpapatuloy pala, na gagamit yung pera for youth programs doon sa ganitong mga aktibidad. Kaya Madam Chair, I have huge reservations kung hahayaan lang natin na ganito yung nangyayari sa isang youth institution supposedly na namumuno sa kabataan. And I would appreciate it if we will defer the approval of the budget of NYC, Madam Chair. Thank you.
And I think he deserves commendation. He was able to apprehend one of the suspects of the killings, series of killings in my district. I think the operation was done last Saturday, and this suspect, I think, could lead to the solution of the other cases. I would like to give you a background of what happened in my district. This started about 3 years ago. There were a series of killings of IP tribal leaders. These are indigenous people leaders. And yes, there are suspects, there are warrants of arrest. And because of the events, the series of killings, I consulted a lot of veteran and seasoned investigators, mostly retired or former PNP officers. We can establish a pattern because all those 11 or 12 who were killed, hindi pa kasama yung hindi napatay sa mga inambush o binaril, are all members of the Matigsalog tribe, one of the most deprived tribes, not only in my district, but I think in Mindanao. And there is also a pattern of the suspects. Karamihan ng mga suspects belong, I think 90%, if not all, belong to a group called Bagani Command or Bagani Warriors. Nagtataka lang ako kung bakit gitolerate ng NCIP to na nag-create ng Bagani Warrior or Bagani Command. Wala namang NPA sa distrito ko. My district has been insurgency-free. Alam ni General Del Boyan, my district has been insurgency-free. We were very much ahead than the other areas in the region. The entire Davao region is now declared insurgency-free. Kung bakit merong armado na grupo na hindi PNP, hindi naman AFP. And I tell you, we were living very peacefully in the past years until that group was created. Nagsunod-sunod na ang patay. It is in my area, it is in my district that you can see the great Philippine eagle. It is in my district that you can see the waling-waling. The fruits, the king of the fruits, durian, nasa distrito ko yan. Flowers, nasa distrito ko yan. There are a lot of tourists that goes to my district. Nasisira ang pangalan sa distrito ko nang dahil sa patayan na yan. So, as a congressman, this is my 5th time elected as congressman. Bago ako naging congressman, konsihal ako sa Davao, 9 years. So kabisado ko yung distrito ko. Kilala ko yung mga tao. And I would like to report officially, as the congressman of my district, that there is an armed group in my area called Bagani Warriors or Bagani Command. And I would like to request the PNP to please help us disarm and disband or dismantle this group. I have already communicated to the East Mincom because I'm a reserve officer myself. I also have my intelligence informations. They were willing to help us. Pero mangyari ito, nandiyan naman si General Delvo, ang frontline talaga sa pag-disarm nito is the PNP. Ang reporting kasi sa media, and I think that's also the kind of reporting na nakakarating sa inyong mga opisina, individual cases, isa-isa. I am positive that there is a pattern. Matigsalog tribe, lahat ang namamatay. There is a group which is possible na gusto i-eliminate yung buong tribo. Kawawang-kawawa. Imagine, yung chairman or tribal chieftain ng Matigsalog tribe, pinatay. At saka hindi lang ito chairman, barangay captain ito. Yung second chairman na pumalit, pinatay din. In the span of 2 or 3 years. Yung last na pinatay was only last month, July 1st, 2 pinatay. So, I was supposed to just talk to the PNP chief at saka kay DILG Secretary Abolo Sana because this is a parochial concern. But sa tingin ko, hindi na ito parochial concern because this will involve the annihilation of one tribe. Let us help this Matigsalog tribe kasi kawawa ang mga ito. They are deprived, really deprived. A group that has no voice, has no, I will say, standing, but sila yung pinapatay ngayon. So thank you very much, and I hope the PNP will act.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Good afternoon to my colleagues who are still here with me. And of course, my greetings to the Department of Interior and Local Government, the Office of the Secretary. While Secretary Ben-Hur is not here, let me just express our deep appreciation for the excellent leadership of Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos. I will later show the achievements of the Department of Interior and Local Governments, and that is due to the leadership of Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos. Then I'd like to recognize our Chief PNP. He was assigned in Cagayan de Oro for 3 years, and he was very successful and effective to provide peace and order, especially during the last elections. Thank you very much, our Chief PNP, Benji Acorda. Also, I'd like to therefore state that your regional director is an outstanding regional director who coordinates with the congressmen and who are able to provide and protect our people of Cagayan de Oro. Is R.D. Lawrence Co present? Please stand. That is the man who is responsible for a very good administration of peace and order in our country. And then I go now to Director Louis Poracan. Louis, you're a good friend. Thank you for the Hino fire trucks that you gave. I have another letter now for another one for next year. Okay. So thank you very much, and you have a very outstanding. I attended the BFP 32nd anniversary, correct? 32nd na kayo, di ba? And that is why, where is Regional Director, my favorite exemplary director, Carlos Dueñas. Saan kayo, Carlos? Wala sila. Hindi mo pinapunta, wala kang pamasahe. Okay. Anyway, so Carlos Dueñas invited me. I was the main speaker of the 32nd anniversary. And then we also BGMP. Yan. Andito si Cesar. Andito si Ruel Rivera, Director. Thank you very much. you gave us one van and one Innova to our prisoners. So, social ang prisoners natin doon. And is RD Cesar Langawin present here? Where is Cesar? Langawin. Wala yung mga directors mo? Okay, I hope they're watching. So these are the people and men who are working in our department. I cannot say this to Regional Director Suico because the director of the ALG has not visited my office even once. Is Director Suico here? The ALG. Where are you? To be recognized. Wala ka. You didn't even visit your congressman. Is that how you respect the congressman of Region 10? And you are in Cagayan de Oro? Director? No, we do not countenance such kind of action. The other regional directors coordinate with the congressman. Because after all, we approve your budget here in Congress. So please, directors, see your congressman. Then you come here to ask for budget. And you do not even have that respect, basic minimum respect, to see the congressman, Director Suico. And then pupunta ka sa opisina ko just last week to give the budget. Goodness, Madam Chair. So anyway, let us proceed with the budget. And I can see here, this is the only time we can be able to speak and come out with what we think and what we feel. Now, let me just tell, therefore, the good achievements of the Department of Interlocal Government. First of all, Madam Chair, there have been 27,485 drug-cleared barangays. That is a big achievement. With 6 from June last year to June this year. And then 65,000 persons arrested, 5,079 high-value targets arrested. Total drugs confiscated, 16 billion, Madam Chair. And then we go to the success of the DILG in improving the national crime situation by lowering the crime rate index, the index and the non-index crimes. And then, Madam Chair, we have also the successes of Secretary Ben Horabalos, where 18 resignations of those involved in crimes, especially drugs, had been accepted. 953 police officials filed their courtesy resignations. And therefore, we see that he is really going after hoodlums in uniform. So, Mr. Chairman, Madam Chair, we now go to the budget. I am surprised, Madam Chair, that the budget of the ILG and the attached agencies have only been increased by a measly 2.6%. We will know from the ILG how much was submitted to the DBM so that we will know how much was slashed, preventing the good governance that is provided for on all local governments by the DILG and the peace and order of our country, the basic ingredient for development of our country. May we know?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, the DILG submitted a proposed budget for 2024 to the tune of 294,624,000,000, Your Honor. 294,624,627,000, Your Honor.
In other words, the DBM has slashed your budget, a very important of this country's development. You have been reduced by no less than 294 minus 262. How much?
29 billion, Your Honor.
29 billion, Madam Chair. I think we should be able to help them.
Thank you very much.
I will wind up.
I
will wind up now.
Okay,
Because I have
one last.
Can you submit the more important, so slash by how much? 29
billion pesos, Your Honor.
29 billion, that's why nagalit si Khalid. Walang fire truck, kunti lang fire trucks eh. And so therefore, I would therefore move in the proper time, Madam Chair, to not only approve the budget of the LG and the attached agencies, but to increase the budget. Finally, my last note is, I will move in the proper time, Madam Chair, because of the request of the Honorable Honorable Regional Director Carlos Dueñas, 92 million to be included in the budget for 2024 for the regional office of our Bureau of Fire, because you're staying in a very small office. Secondly, for the BGMP, with our dear Director Roel Rivera, I will move for the inclusion of 100 million for the regional office. It's very small already. And so therefore, Madam Chair, I finally state that for Cagayan de Oro, we thank former Police Chief Aaron Mandia, who has been promoted, for him to be disrecorded, and for also congratulate the coming in of Police Colonel Salvador Radam. And we congratulate for a peaceful, safe fiesta of Cagayan de Oro of St. San Agustin. Therefore, Madam Chair, I now would end this particular interpellation with the request to my fellow members of Congress. Let us not only approve the budget of the DILG in the amount of 262 billion, but to increase it by no less than 27 billion. So move, Madam Chair, so that we will have peace and order and development in our country with a very well-performing DILG and all the attached agencies. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Your motion. Is that a motion?
Motion in the proper time.
Okay. Yes.
But for emphasis, it's already a motion. That's why they were clapping, because, you know, a big slash, 29 billion, Madam Chair. And I know our Congresswoman Banti Quaresma, will lead a charge in the plenary that we are going to increase the entire budget of the LG and the attached agencies. Is that correct, Madam Chair?
That's well noted by the chairman, no less than the chairman, Saldico, who is with us now.
Oh,
Okay, so
is the
thank you
chairman here?
Again,
Okay.
Congressman Rufus Rodriguez. So the next to be
Dito na.
recognized.
Madam Chair,
Madam
before
Chair.
that, let me just really bow and give my homage to our chairman of the Committee on Appropriations.
Madam Chair.
He is the one who is going to make sure that you will be restored, that we'll have more fire trucks, police cars, and then also prisoners' vans. Is that correct, Chairman Ko? Can we hear you?
Yes, at the proper time.
Yeah, yes, so my commitment already. Proper time is the plenary. With our chairman, I am sure that 27 billion will be restored. Thank you very much, Chairman and Chairpersons. Thank you for the time given to the 2nd District of Cagayan de Oro, representative of Cagayan de Oro, City of Golden Friendship, Rufus Rodriguez.